Welcome everyone to another episode of Why the Hell Not here on Bryno's World, the show where I make whatever's on top of my mind because why the hell not? First off, I want to apologize for not putting up a video last week, but I was just so busy with stuff outside of Bryno's World and with work and just in real life and such. Nothing bad, just a lot of stuff, and didn't have enough time to film something or let alone edit something. So, nothing last week. This week, it's up, obviously. You're watching, obviously. So anyway, sorry about that. But now for the real reason why you're tuning in. What the heck am I making this week? Well, it's very, very simple. I'm actually not just going to make something. I'm going to show off a new device that I purchased from Amazon a few weeks ago. Namely, that thing. This is my new spiral cutter. Let's get a little close-up of it there. This is my new spiral cutter, as I just mentioned. Basically, it's a way to take vegetables, fruits, very solid foods, and just put it in this little spiral cutter here, twirl it until it becomes something like noodles or spirals or just things like that. Now, I know some of you hardcore cooks will be like, oh, single-purpose device, bleh, avoid it like the plague. Personally, I like this. Biggest reason was a recent doctor visit brought up the fact that I needed to get some more vegetables into my diet, and I had known about spiral cutters for a while, and they can produce something called zucchini pasta, if you will. So that's actually what I'm going to do today, is make a small little batch of zucchini noodles with a little bit of a sauce on it. I'm just going to show you how I make them. First things first, I start with my zucchini. Now normally when I make lunch portions for this, I use 2 whole zucchinis. Here I just got 1, because I don't want to waste them all on just a little thing for the show. So call this a snack size. So I'm taking this zucchini here. Gonna lightly chop off the end here, not all the way though, because there's gonna be some bit of it sticking out. I want to use as much of this as possible, and then obviously chop it in half. So I have 2 zucchini halves. Let's turn them into noodles. Now the spiral cutter goes into action. For this I chose the thin spaghetti blade. This model comes with, I think, with actually 5 different blades, 4 for fake noodles and 1 for just plain spirals without these little triangle doodads. So we put the zucchini half in here like so. And this is a bad camera angle, so let me swap around a little bit. There we go, that's much better. So let's spiralize. So there we are, 1 zucchini's worth of noodles, small zucchini's worth of noodles. Now, it does return these things, which I don't really like having this left over. Usually I just toss them, but if you can think of better ideas to incorporate these into that, probably just chop them up fine, but if you've got any other ideas, leave a comment. However, we are not done with these noodles yet, not by a long shot. One thing about these zucchini noodles is that they have a lot of water content in them. Now, if you're eating the noodles right away, that's not a problem. But if you're preparing them for future lunches and meals like I do, like days in advance, this water could leak out, and it has leaked out into the tomato sauce I put on them, and it's not exactly pleasant. So we got to get rid of the water content in this somehow. But just enough so that it's kind of al dente, if you will. So what I've done is put it into this colander. And one thing that I've read is to liberally coat this stuff with salt and extract the water that way via osmosis. Well, that's what I've read. So let's do that. And it's been said you need to be very, very liberal with the salt here, so go nuts. I reckon that'll do. So now we just let them sit for quite a bit. Now, the question you might be asking now is, how long is a little bit? Well, when I've done this before for the last couple weeks, I've been letting it sit for maybe 20-30 minutes. I've read things online where it can go anywhere between like a few minutes, like 20 minutes, 20-30 minutes to an hour to overnight. However, today is a little bit weird in that I'm filming this at almost 6 o'clock. I've got somewhere to be at 8, and I'm probably not going to be back until really, really late. So in an attempt to get this video out of the way, I am actually going to leave these in the fridge for several hours until I get back. So it's going to be a bit of an experiment to see if leaving these longer will make them drier. To take out insurance just in case the worst happens, I'm going to coat this colander bowl combo in plastic wrap and shove it into the fridge. Okay, that's as good as the job as it's going to get. Now to shove it in the fridge. If I can find room. That'll do. So now I'm going to let it wait for a few hours and see how dry they turn out afterwards. Okay guys, update. When I filmed my last segment, that was roughly 5:30 in the evening. I was at this event. Okay, I'll be blunt with you. I was at the FC Cincinnati Chicago Fire game. The kickoff was at 8, and it's now 1 in the morning when I got back here. So, the zucchini noodles have been in the fridge for, it's too late for me to do math, maybe 7.5 hours. I'm worried that that might be too long, but let's see what happens. I want to get a real reaction. So far, they look fine. Let's see, liquid on the bottom. Wow. There's almost nothing in the bottom here. I'm wondering if maybe putting them in the fridge was not the best idea. Well, unfortunately, I don't know if this is a bad thing or not, but you know what? I'm just here to have this as a snack, and I'm pretty starving after not eating a whole lot of good stuff on the way to and from Cincinnati, so I'll just eat that as is. Well, not as is, add a little bit of sauce first. And just a quick note, I have decided to expedite the drying process by pressing these noodles between a few layers of paper towels. I don't think this will affect this little snack dish, but that's something you can do to dry these things out too. So there we are. I've cooked the zucchini noodles in some homemade meat sauce, which I made roughly the beginning of this week. Got meat, a bunch of tomato stuff, and a lot of mushrooms. Let's see how well it goes with zucchini noodles. Okay, zucchini noodles here. They're warm in the meat sauce. Obviously, so won't have to use a pot holder to hold the bowl. So let's get a little twirl here. And let's get a little taste. If I remember, these are kind of crunchy, but again, they've been sitting in the thing there, the colander, for over 7 hours. I don't know if that may have softened them up at all, or maybe the cooking may have made them soft, but let's see. Zucchini noodles with homemade meat sauce. Cheers. That's good. I forgot that I put some habanero into the meat sauce, so gives a lot of heat, but a lot of good flavor too. Also, tasting a lot of the saltiness that from the tons of salt that I put on the zucchini noodles as well. The one big thing you would have to get past if you're too used to having regular pasta is that while pasta, even when it's al dente, is usually sort of on the soft and mushy side, this stuff, even when cooked for a few minutes, is a little bit on the crunchy side. I kind of like the extra crunch though. I don't have a problem with it because the zucchini by itself is kind of bland, kind of just flavorless, like normal pasta noodles. Overall, I think it's pretty nice. I mean, if the thought of crunchy noodles turns you off, you might not like this, but otherwise, I think it's pretty good. If you put it with the right kind of sauce, you can pretty much eat it all day, which I'm trying to do for lunch nowadays. Well, it is getting extremely late. I gotta finish this and then hit the sack. Before I do, I want to thank you for watching this latest episode of Why the Hell Not here on Bryno's World. Yeah, if you got any ideas for things I can make on the show, please leave a comment down below. Or if you got other ideas for things I could make with this spiral cutter here, I'm interested to try see what else I can spiralize with this. I've done potatoes just as fun, and of course zucchini noodles, but I think there's more applications for that. So if you got ideas for things I can spiralize, also leave a comment down below. Otherwise, don't forget to like and share this video with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a good one. I'm going to eat some zucchini pasta. Mmm. Mmm. Mmm.